Hello, hello, hello everyone. I am Steve from Mac84 and welcome to another live stream as I hear things falling behind my desk. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Hopefully everybody can hear me, everybody can see me. Hopefully the audio and everything is good. Yeah, this is kind of a planned thing and then I sort of missed my original schedule, but we're here now. That's all that matters. Hopefully everybody is doing okay. Let's see. We got a bunch of people here. We have about 20 or so people here, which is good. Excellent. So we have Jay, we have Claire, we have Bruce, we have Craig, we have Sad Mac, we have Mitchell, we have Michael from Mike's Mac Shack, we have Will, we have Neil, we have another Michael, we have Skylar, we have Mickey, we have El Nero Diablo, okay, and we have Sean from Action Retro, we have Neil, we have K-Con, we have Macintosh Librarian, and alright, sweet. And Trina! Welcome, Trina. Alright, so we are happily doing another live stream today, and I have no idea what we're going to be doing, but I have a few ideas. Oh boy. Brian, if you need any help with your sanity, I will try to help you, but there's no guarantees. Also, Brian, just evidently, because the Sega Saturn sort of plays into a role of the Pippin in some ways with the software library, I actually shot a lot of B-roll footage for a Sega Saturn video I was collaborating with. If you need any B-roll footage of a Sega Saturn, I'm your guy. I got a Google Drive folder full of it right now, so let me know if that is of any use to you. If so, I'd happily provide it. Alright, so Frank, I have no idea what you people are talking about, but hello Dusty, hello Hunter. So, let me double check something here. So I have a few little quick announcements to make. One being that I have a few boards that have been tested and ready to be shipped out, but I have not been able to ship them out yet. Just had not had the chance to. I also have not shipped out yet the contest winners from the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. They're all packed up. I just have not been able to leave the driveway until today. I was chopping away at all the ice. That's how I got this little guy. I was holding a wooden handle and ripped the skin off. So that was fun. Well, now this monitor is getting all wavy lined. Ooh. Yeah, let's look at this. Of course, when I point the camera on it, it's going to stop. But look at that. It's getting all wavy. That's certainly a good thing. That's a good thing. Don't know why. Oh boy. Probably because somebody plugged in the wrong VGA cable to it. Maybe a cheapo one that's not shielded as much. Well, Brian, I don't know if I can help with your sanity, but you are always welcome to talk. If you need some talking time. Oh boy. If I change the cable, I'm pretty sure the whole streaming setup will go down, so I'm going to try and deal with it right now. Subspace interface. We have frequencies. The Klingons are coming to get us. Alright, so my desk is an absolute mess, but we're going to figure something out. There are a few things that I picked up that I've been wanting to show you guys. So if you remember, right before my basement decided to not like the pipes in my house, and I had to do all that cleanup. Remember that? That was fun. Fun times. That was during the 68K PowerPC challenge, rather. Ugh. And I was going to do more videos about my Quadra 800, which sits there. And I just didn't get around to them because everything that was going on. Well, the plan is to continue with that during Macintosh. So if you don't know what Macintosh is, go to marchintosh.com. It's a play on the word March, the month, and Macintosh. It starts next month. You can participate. Anybody can participate. You could write a blog post. You could do a video. You could do whatever. I have a lot of things planned for that, and I'm going to be talking about some of the stuff that I have planned for you. So, Nick, I don't know whether to take you seriously on that or not, because little side story here, Nick sent me a broken PowerBook, and inside was like CDRs and a bolt, and so I don't know if that's some cruel joke, Nick, or if that's just the way you got it, but that stuff has been removed and thrown out. It was all junk. But I appreciate the parts. I'll use the screen, hopefully that works. The machine doesn't work. The PowerBook itself does not have any signs of life, so There were bent pins and all sorts of hard things inside of there. So who knows what happened to that? But anyway, as part of Macintosh, there's a few things I'm going to do to that Quadra. One of them being this. This is a Mac clip accelerator by Newer Technology, and the reflection of this light here is just destroying anything here. Yeah, so this is apparently this little clip with an oscillator on it and some dip switches. And the idea is you're supposed to put this on your Quadra or your Centris or whatever is compatible, and you're supposed to get a speed boost. So, yeah, I mean, these are pretty cheap. I think I bought out the last of the seller's supply on eBay. They were about $5, but the guy had them for years. They were on eBay for years. So, this claims you could get up to 40% more speed. Obviously, it depends on your machine. There's a little list here. I actually have two of these. One I'm going to keep in the box. Probably this one because it's in nice condition. One's a bit beat up. We'll take that out of the box. But it basically is the equivalent, from what I understand, of changing the little crystal or the oscillator or whatever you change on some of those early Macintoshes, and it changes the clock speed, and it gives you a little boost. So this is this little tiny device right here, and basically it has that, but it has some dip switches on there. So it allows you to configure that easily once the camera focuses. There we go. Without you having to solder things or anything like that. So, yeah. Oh, now my screen's going really wavy. Oh, this is not going to be good. Yeah, these were on eBay for ages. I want to say these were on eBay for at least a year or so. This particular one's called the Mac Clip Junior for the Macintosh Quadra 800 and 840 AV. So I believe this will work on some other models too. But that is going to be something I'm going to be doing a little short video on for my Quadra 800 because might as well. See if we get a bit of a boost out of it. And it's comparing two models here. They have a Power Clip and Mac Clip. So the Power Clip is obviously for the Power Macs. So this won't work with that. But the Mac Clip apparently will work with at least what it's saying on the box here. And this may be for different models. But the 840 AV, 800, 660 AV, 650, 610, 660 AV. Oh, well, they're listing the Quadras and the Centrises. But yeah. So 800, 840 AV, 660 AV, 650, and 610. I think I have all of those. I think. Well, anyway. We have one to play around with. So that's going to be fun. Let's put that somewhere where I'm not going to lose it. He says as he puts it off to the side, never to be seen again. Let me zoom in on the image here. Because otherwise, this wiggling around of the pixels and junk on the monitor is going to make it very hard to read all your lovely chats. And that's not helping. Oh, well. We're off to a good start, aren't we? Hey, Madeline, welcome very much to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. And Apples Anonymous, and Justin, and Ashton, and any other latecomers, Distro Hopper, etc. So there you go. Yeah, so also just a bit of a behind-the-scenes thing. I was doing some video editing, I use the term lightly, on the Quadra 800. It was just too painful. So I'll be talking about that in one of my update videos for that, but yeah, the idea was to like do a whole video and edit it on the Quadra 800. I don't know if that's going to be happening. We'll see. But anyway, more junk. Well, stuff, not junk. Some other things I want to play around with Macintosh. Well, these are just capacitors. I have plenty for now. I was running out. This is a project that some of you have probably heard about. I was very curious about it. Let's tilt the camera down so you can actually see what the heck I'm talking about here. And this will probably be a little bit of a giveaway there. So this is a kit for, and I'm probably not going to say it correctly, the RAS SCSI adapter. So it's a Raspberry Pi SCSI adapter that essentially lets you, with the help of a Raspberry Pi, make a SCSI to SD adapter or something along those lines. I ordered this kit and I want to do some testing with it, but you know, I was just, it's just adorable because there's a little Clarice the dog cow on the PCB. I mean, how could you say no when Clarice is right there? You're going, move. So there you go. You can't see because my camera focus is garbage. And there it is for a second. And then it's gone again. It's like a fleeting moment. It passes. Anyway, so the idea behind this is you're supposed to use a Raspberry Pi. I have a Raspberry Pi Zero, but if you use a Raspberry Pi wireless model, you could actually use a SCSI drive, but like have wireless sharing capability. So, yeah, this is a little magnet. You have to pay extra for it. They don't include it, but it's very cool. So I'm gonna have to. Oopsie, hey, caught it. I'm gonna have to put this somewhere. It's gonna go on the handle of my Mac Pro Tower there, just for now. But yeah, I'm very interested in setting this up. It's a kit, so I have to do some soldering, and there is a micro USB port to solder. So that's going to be fun. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that today because, my goodness, that's a lot of tiny pieces. And I'm going to screw that up. But that will be a live stream, I'm sure, during March. So that'll be fun to do. Hey, John, and anybody else who's been joining. The chat's just flying by. We got 42 people here. My goodness. Let me just scroll up here. I missed some things. Make a QuickTime movie and upload it to QuickTube. Well, see, that's the thing. I was importing footage, but it was just, I was running into memory issues and stuff like that. That was so much fun. So much fun. Oh, I slept right through that, didn't I, Charlie? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, my sleep schedule has not been 100% good today, so I sincerely apologize. I'm sure you guys recorded it, but I apologize. I did not mean to intentionally miss all of you, and that's kind of what I'm going through right now. Just sort of what I was planning to do, because I'm not showing everything here. But, hey, Leo, welcome to the chat. So, put that over there. That's going to mess around with that sometime later. We got some brand new caps because I was running low on capacitors with all the recapping I was doing. So, that's good. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, yeah. I mean, back in the day, Brian, I used Launcher. At Ease was something that was installed at school, but it was an add-on option. You had to pay for it. Trust me, I tried to find it for free when I was a kid, just because the way I liked it. I don't know. I thought, oh, it's like at school. I can set this up. Yeah, the launcher is kind of the same thing, but without the restrictions. So yeah, that's what I usually do. Storm Crash. I usually just put an applications folder alias in the Apple menu and just put all the applications in there. Okay, so there's a few more thingies I want to talk about here. This guy is something I found with recent Goodwill shopping. So before I got snowed in, I found this lovely thing. And this is just a hunk of plastic. But look at this. Look at this. This is a universal printer stand, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of these plastic supports with a paper tray and stuff like that. This is designed for like dot matrix printers. In fact, they have an Epson LQ850 on there. I am not in Texas, Claire. I am, what, about 2,000 miles northeast of there? I'm in New Jersey on the East Coast. And so I saw this, and I'm like, how much is this? $5.49. I said, sold! Just because of this, exactly. The paper could fit underneath, which is excellent. I don't know if this is going to support the weight of like an image writer, but I have some other dot matrix printers that I'm sure with the stupid collection of dot matrix printers I have, one of them will fit with this little stand. But oh, we still have the original part number on here. Curtis Universal Printer Stand. $24. Right there. There's the original price sticker on that. $24. It's a little faded, but yeah. So this is by Curtis. They make a lot of power strips and stuff. I think I'm actually using a Curtis power strip. Yes, I am. Right down there. So, but they made a lot of accessories, and just look at the. I wish half of these accessories were at the store. We got dust covers, we got extension cords and phone splitters and cables, and look at all this kooky fun stuff. That's how the stand is put together. Give you an idea there. Yeah, so a bunch of crazy vintage fun stuff there that they did not have, but Trina's like rolling her eyes so hard right now. All right, so we're gonna put that over there, and oh boy, I'm scared reading the chat now. Okay, just following this up here. Yeah, I had to go somewhere, and so I stopped. There was a brand new Goodwill that they opened, brand new, and I'm like, you know what? I need to stop by and take a look. I need to see what's going on here, and that was in there. The previous time I stopped by there was before it started snowing a month ago, a few weeks ago, because my car basically has not been moved for a long time. And essentially, they had some LCD monitors and phone cases and stuff like that, but nothing that I was interested in picking up. But I picked up that, and I picked up this thingy here, which is identical to what I already have. And let me see if I can just put it on the desk. One of these things are drawers. How about that? And in these drawers are things for future videos. So I guess I'll tease a few things here. I am working on a follow-up to the iMac G3 series video. And because I'm doing a follow-up to that, I want to have more accessories. And because I have more accessories, I want to show some things off. And you know what, Neil? That is exactly by me. They never have good electronics. This store was the exception. These things I got here, except for this drawer thing, did not come from Goodwill. So this is a Keyspan USB to serial adapter that I got off eBay a few months ago or so. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It is a USB serial adapter. So you can use your PC, 9-pin serial port, and it's supposed to work with is that a rubber band that has disintegrated into this box here? Alright. So it's supposed to work with your Macintosh, and the requirements are macOS 8.6 or macOS 10. So I'm glad that this works with 8.6 because that's something I want to play around with. I do not have one of these that was designed for the Mac. All the ones I have are the cheapo ones that just really don't work. So it'd be cool to see what this actually works with. So this is a Keyspan brand. It's a pretty well-known company, and they made a lot of USB adapters and stuff like that. So I have some confidence that this will work, but obviously the plan is, with the iMac G3, I want to be able to plug one of these adapters in, maybe do some ADT Pro with my Apple II or something like that. So I want to make sure that I could use this. And yes, high speed, 230 kilobits per second. My goodness. So that's going to be something there. Then we got some random stuff here. I don't know what these are. Oh, wait. Just feeling this, I know exactly what this is now. I know what it is, but you guys don't. Eight-pin mini DIN models. I have one or two of those, Brian. Thank you for the offer. I have the Keyspan, whatever the adapters I use for my image writer. Ah! Well, they wrap this up in a weird way. Oh my goodness. The balls are everywhere. These are mouse balls. These are from Macintosh computers. And I can already feel that these, at least, why is he touching the balls? At least one of them here feels like the metal one. These were very cheap on eBay, like literally a few dollars for the whole bundle. I could already feel that, where is it? Yeah, this one here is metal and heavy. Unlike a lot of folks, my mices, they're missing some of the balls sometimes. Especially on the older machines. I'll get one where it's just missing. So, look at that. That's 4 of them here. We're going to put them up here. So that is always good to have spare balls. Alright, now we have this guy here. Oh, I believe it. And this is a microphone. So this is one of the earlier Macintosh microphones. I had this already, but at the price of like $2 plus the whatever the mice balls were from the same seller, why not? So this looked to be in pretty good condition. This is one of the earlier microphones that just has the regular microphone jack. It's not like the ones from the Power Macs that had the very, very longer tip that was annoying. You had to convert or whatever like that. So a little goodie there. Let's see. What's in the Atari box in the background? That was a box. It's actually a box for an Atari Educator, which is a tape system. I don't actually have the one that came in that box, but I have a comparable one that I actually picked up at the IIsi facility months after I got that. But that box actually had an Atari 800 inside, and that was at a thrift store. Okay. You have a crate of those new-in-the-box microphones. Well, Brian, we'll have to be visiting each other when all this madness dies down, aren't we? Expecting keyboard falls. Well, I don't know what to tell you. So, another thing I want to show off is this little boy. This guy will be in the Macintosh G3 video. And look at this monstrosity here. Look at this. This is a USB to SCSI converter, and this was not cheap. This was not cheap. So thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon or gives me super chats, etc. This is the fruit of your labor. I will be testing this out with an iMac G3 to see how good these things actually work, because my goodness, are these expensive. And so this one still is in the box and everything. It has the translucency here. I was watching this on eBay for literally 6 months and decided, you know what, let me just get the darn thing. Yeah, what concerns me a little bit is on the what you need side here. Let me know if you could just spot some of the typo there toward the bottom there. Can you see that? What you need. Drivers ... or Windows 898. Like, what? I think someone just like was writing up the typing, the information for the package. And it just sort of like stopped. Like, you know, did you see the? Oh, come on, you stupid camera. We just need some information on the box. Can you do that up for us? Yeah, sure. And come on, this camera sucks, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, focus on me in the distance. There we go. So yeah, I thought that was a little weird. So, yeah, thought that was funny. But yeah, so this, I found this amusing. The #1 in USB. Like, just a baseless claim there. And then, you know, the information on the box doesn't really tell you anything. Doesn't tell you about how, if it's supposed to be faster or anything. It just says that USB is the future. That's all this copy writing on the back of this is. USB is the future. USB is the future. USB is the future. That's all. So, thank you very much, Kenneth. That's greatly appreciated. I do appreciate that. So, yeah, this thing will be very fun to take a look at. I know it's not a new thing. People have tested USB to SCSI adapters on YouTube before, but I am very curious how this actually works. And, yeah. So, this is sealed in the box. Has never been opened. So, yeah, I am very curious to actually how this turns out. So, again, this will be an upcoming video. I don't know if it's going to be a Macintosh video. Those iMac videos and those clone videos take much longer than everything else does. And, oh, I actually did pick this up at the thrift store. Let me get this, does this drawer come out? Well, it does. Let me put this down. So I posted this on Twitter because I never find stuff like this. That's a good question, Commodore. It does not say on the box. I never find stuff like this, and this is at a Goodwill, and I think the cables were only $1 or so. Look at these connectors. Look at these connectors. So we have PS2, which I know, and there's DVI. So we got that. And now, we have this guy. Now, I believe this is a flat panel connector for some HP and Compaq displays back in the early days. I actually have a tower that does have this connector on it. It is not AAUI. It's a bit wider than that, but it looks like it. Let me go into the focus settings here of this camera and give you a much closer look here. So let me just go into the settings here. Focus off, autofocus off rather, and let's try and focus this in there. There we go. Yeah, so this would plug in on the computer side, then you have an identical connector that plugs into the monitor. I can't test it because I don't have the monitor that it plugs into. So I just got the cable. But for $1, I figured, you know what, the cable's an interesting piece. Plus, it gave me a pretty long DVI cable, so that's not bad. But, yeah, this was back in the day, I guess, maybe, you know, for space-saving purposes, they couldn't fit DVI in there. I don't know what the heck their deal was. They were just coming up with things, I'm sure. But, yeah, so I have a compact that has one of these adapters. I'm pretty sure that plugs into the back of it. Like I said, I don't have the monitor for it. I looked at the Goodwill, they did not have the monitor for it. So, for all I know, it might have been scrapped or whatever. But yeah, I got the cable for it. And they actually had some other random computer cables at Goodwill. Again, very unlike my Goodwill experiences. I never find any useful cables. So this is an RCA stereo jack to the phono plugs. So always useful. Mine are always dead because I use them so much. They're always crackling, only one channel works, etc. So very, very useful cable. They had this. This is just like your standard plug into your power supply and get a chain of Molex connectors. But for like, oh, I got two of them actually. But for like $1, I have no problem cutting these up because whenever I need to fix a Molex connector or something, I don't have spare ones. And you know what? For $1, these are spare cables I could cut up without having to worry about salvaging parts from a working power supply. So, well, there were actually displays at the Goodwill, so who knows, you know, if they actually tossed it or if it just came in a bundle of crap. Last thing here, we have an ancient-looking auxiliary cable, and I don't know, just the color scheme and everything. This is obviously from like a Cambridge Audio or a Boston Acoustics speaker setup from back in the mid-90s, early 2000s. Again, very cheap. Just picked that up. So always good to have cables. That's what I'm trying to say here. You can never have too many cables. Yes. Panel link is what the protocol of that video cable thing is. Thank you, Leo. Learn something new every day. How about that? Having too much fun with my old plotter. Oh, that sounds like fun. Yes, to add to the collection of cables that is in that bin. And yeah, just so you guys know, see this setup here with the webcam and the monitor and everything. That's how the Hyper Talking show is done, with that very fancy folding chair. So that's why I had to move everything to this desk again. It was fun. It was real fun. That's why the screen is all wobbly, because I'm using a crummy VGA cable. But yeah, you can never have too much computer stuff until you do, and then there's a bit of a problem. So, all right. So, only the best in broadcast technology. Alright, so we do have a few things that I left off on last time, so let's try and continue and do something useful, because I've just been rambling around for 30 minutes here. When I have time, that's the answer to that, Nick. So, let's put this cable away here. Let's move the chair here. So, let's see. Where was that? Oh, there it is. Let me go grab that power supply as I stretch for it. Let me go get the other pieces of that, which are just off camera here. Excuse me, extreme close-up. Okay, so this was my Macintosh 2SI power supply that did not work anymore. And the last live stream, what we did was we took it apart and we cleaned it up. And I put a bunch of new caps on it. I have no idea if this is going to work, because I didn't test it yet. But we're going to try. So, if anything blows up, we'll all be here. We're all in this together. I have one more capacitor to put on this little board here. And then I guess we could start putting it back together. So maybe we could work on this. I'm not saying maybe, I'm saying we will, because it's right in front of me. So, let's do that. Oh, we're playing all system sounds, aren't we? Yes, these are the metal panels for the power supply. So get that out of the way. There is a little baggie with screws that I have to find somewhere. We'll get to that. Need to find a replacement blade for your manual paper cutter. Well, good luck with that. That doesn't sound like fun. Well, Commodore, that's just putting me off of playing with any new Macintosh computers. Okay, so where is my little... Well, I guess let's switch gears here and just turn on the soldering iron for Pete's sake. Because we will be needing that. Do we need the big soldering iron tip? No. Let's switch to the smaller soldering iron tip. Well, what do I have to do here? Yeah, let me switch to the smaller soldering iron tip, because that's what was throwing me off last time. Oh yeah, I hate that. You're looking for a part and it's more than the unit itself. I would not be surprised. I mean, this is me we're talking about, huh? So we're just putting a new tip on the soldering iron here. I know it was only on for a few seconds, but I don't want to burn myself. I have enough bandages on me today, so. And yes, I do need to invest in one of those that has the easily changeable tips and all that stuff. And I will be doing that at some point, just not right now. Whenever I get some Patreon funds, it's like, okay, I need a teleprompter, I need a microphone, etc. So that all happens. And then there's always more things. I did not get my EEPROMs yet, Thomas. So I do have this EEPROM reader that should, in theory, allow me to write Macintosh ROMs. Right now I could read them, but I don't have any blank ones. And of course the blank ones I ordered, the tracking number just goes nowhere. So who knows when the heck I'm going to get that. Hopefully before the end of March. Hopefully next week. So that would be nice. But obviously I'll do an update when that happens, because that'll be fun to play around with. EEPROM. Yes, I know. There's a lot of fun things that the names are already taken. Trust me. Every once in a while I'll just go on my web host and just like, oh, what domain names could I buy? Oh, actually I'll share a domain name that I bought with you guys. You'll find it. You'll find it funny, hopefully. Can I log in here, or is it going to yell at me and I have to authenticate myself and all this garbage? Let's see if this wants to work. Here we go. Domain list. So I purchased the following domain names the other day. I purchased this, and I'm typing them in here because yeah, those are the domain names I purchased. Sosumi.me, moof.me, and wildeep.me. So I don't know. For all I know, I'm gonna stick around with them for a year, and then I'll forget to renew them. But those are the domain names I purchased. Sosumi.me, and then moof.me and wildeep.me. So I thought that was funny. I wish I could buy sosu.me, but that was already taken. So yeah. No, Jay, you don't have to do that. It's so kind of you to offer, but no, you don't have to do that. Go back to your normal business. Okay, so I have to remember what we're doing here. Let's get out the microscope and move the wires around this chair, or I can't move here. Yeah. A wild EEPROM is just the ROM, and instead of all the other system sounds and junk, it's just EEP on repeats for days. All right, let's try and grab this microscope without having it fall down or anything like that. Hi, Bruce and Mike and anybody else who was asleep. You're now about to be woken up, because now we're getting to the good stuff here. Thank you very much, Justin. That is greatly appreciated. EEP, You get an actual EAP there. Thank you very much. HP 41. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jocelyn. Sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what an HP 41 is. Is that a calculator? Alright, so let's bring this a little bit closer. Alright. And let's make sure that everything is set up correctly before I swap over to the microscope. Of course, I was not picture-in-picture set up there. Alright. So, here is a little board here. Here's a little board here. This is for the IIsi power supply. There's a little board. And yeah, it could have seen better days here. And I do have to put some solder mask on some of these things because, yeah, some of it was eaten away. Which microscope model do I use? Yeah, I mean, this might be overkill for that, to be honest. This is an Amscope something or other. Oh, jeez. The name escapes me. But it was quite expensive in this $500+ range. So I don't know if it would necessarily be the best for that usage. But if you go to Amscope's website, they have tons of stuff. The only thing I will recommend strongly is take your time. Because they have tons of stuff on there, and it could be very easy to confuse what they have and order the wrong thing. Ask me how I know. So, yeah. Yeah, those early Macs with Snow Leopard on it are fantastic. Is that the exact one, Jay? Really? Because mine's slightly different. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty similar. Well, it's got a lot of the stuff Jeez. Well, the power supply for the light is a little different, but it looks very similar to, yeah. So what Jay posted is pretty close to what that is. It doesn't have to be the exact one. And the cheaper alternative, I would recommend. I've heard very good things about the Amscope SE400Z. I do not have one. I've never used one, but I hear good things because it's it doesn't have the camera, but you can see things, which is important. So. Okay, so, alright, so we are in the process of just fixing this up a little bit, and I just had to put this capacitor here, but what I was going to do, this is what I'm remembering now, I was going to just put some solder mask on, because this whole area is very, let's just say electrical, and, for lack of a better word, and I just want to make sure I don't bridge any connections that shouldn't be bridging, and all that fun stuff, so. Well, that's because Jay is being very nice today. Thank you, Jay. And so we'll just be putting some UV solder mask on this and letting that dry. You traded your Pismo for a microscope. I guess that's a good trade. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I always fall with my fingers touching the cap. I always end up doing that. All right, so I'm just putting some UV solder mask here to protect this capacitor. Why is this so chunky? To protect this capacitor from bridging to the other one, because as we know, that's not a good thing. We don't want any bridges here. Okay, I don't know why this is so gel-like. But it's going to be hiding inside of a power supply, so I could honestly care less about what it looks like. But this is not really painting the way I want it to. So maybe we'll just get rid of that. See, I don't know these things, Kate. I'm in a world of my own here. We're just gonna paint these pretty little pads here. All right, so. This looks a little bit better. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to make sure that things aren't going to be touching what they shouldn't be touching and making a connection where things shouldn't be making a connection, and so on and so forth. So that's the whole idea here. Not really too concerned about this whole area. I'm just gonna do a little bit over there, but I don't think anything's really gonna touch this. I guess it just doesn't. If I have enough, I'll cover it. But again, this is being very slime-like today, and not like the liquidy paint it usually is. So. Yeah, now that my car could get out of the driveway, I'm happy to go to the dollar store and buy some paintbrushes. But I'm being serious when I'm saying I could not get out of the driveway. So there was a bit of a limitation there. That's fine for now. That's fine for now. Well, happy little accidents here. Okay. All right. So. Yeah, lots of snow. That's what was going on here. Lots of snow and ice. My goodness, ice. Ice, ice, ice. Ice, ice, baby. All right, so let's get the little pen here. Our little laser. And we'll start with the small side here. And we'll cure this UV solder mask. CS Waffle, probably. I just bought the laser because it was cheap. It was about $3 or $4. Bruce and Jay had good success with it. So I figured, that's a safe bet. I'm sure anything that outputs the right wavelength of UV should be okay. But the laser is small enough and precise enough for little jobs like this, so I think that is good. But obviously, you could use the sun. Unleash the power of the sun! Or things like that, but obviously it's dark out, so this is a good alternative. Yeah, I've had no problem ordering from AliExpress. The last thing I ordered from them, one of them worked and one of them didn't. Actually, we could test that out after this. There's a little capture device I bought that I gave to a friend and just stopped working. So we could look at that under the microscope after we fix this power supply. It's a bit modern, but I think it'll be something fun to look at. Pronounced solder. Well, I'm from New Jersey. I don't pronounce anything correctly, apparently. And I just noticed there's another little area there where we want to just make sure that nothing touches. Yeah, that's okay. Everyone's saying, what do you mean it's okay? It looks like crap. Again, this is for myself. This is not for a client. And this is going inside of a power supply. So, never going to be seen for the lights of day again, I'm sure. In Boston, it's SATA. Oh, boy. We're going to get into Mayor Quimby territory there. Alright, so I'm just leaving this on here just so it cures. It's getting harder now. It's not in a liquid state anymore. So this is all curing, and that should stay pretty solid there. That capacitor is not going to sit flush on the board anymore, but that's okay. It's more important that this is safe and working correctly rather than the looks of it. But I hope everybody is doing good tonight. It's Tuesday night, so we're almost on to Wednesday, and that means we're almost on to the half of the week. That means we're almost on to the weekend. So, see how easy it is to make that jump? Yeah, plotters are interesting. I've seen some pictures of Apple plotters and some other plotters. Not that I would have a use for any of them, but I mean, they look pretty neat. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is done. I'm just waiting a few more seconds here. Hey, Storm Crash! Me too! Maybe about 15 days. Yeah, sort of takes a toll on your sanity. Can you tell? Oh, boy. Alright, so I think that looked a bit better. Looks a bit better, rather. Let's just give it a little poke. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, so let's do the other side here. Ding, it is done indeed. Oh, rather, something I wanted to mention. While I do this, I could talk to you guys. So, David Stahl has an excellent YouTube channel. I watched one of his videos, was it, over the weekend or Monday or whenever I watched it. But David released a great video about a G4 Cube power supply. And I'm not going to spoil the video because I really want you to go watch it. But, Jay or somebody, if you or David... I think a mod has to do it. So Trina or Jay or any of the mods that are here, if you go to David's channel, please, and grab the link about the G4 Cube and paste it in the chat. My hands are a little busy. That would be greatly appreciated. But essentially, David figured out a great little way, a very inexpensive way, and a very ingenious little way of running the G4 Cube power supply in a much cooler state, because that power supply is air-cooled, and so he figured out a nice way to actually resolve the problem of it overheating, because a lot of those power supplies do die because they get very hot. And so David just had a very straightforward video, so I very, very much recommend that you go check out that video and subscribe to his channel if you are not already subscribed to it. He has a lot of excellent content there, puts out more videos than I do. So be sure to check that out. But a very nice little video there, David, about your G4 Cube power supply. I will have to follow your advice on that when I set up my cube to get running. But very, very cool little project there. And I'm always happy to see others doing a lot of these little ingenious fixes for these older Macintoshes, because the more of us who are caring about these machines, the better. And thank you very much, Trina. Yeah, there's a link right there. You can click to David's video, and don't forget to subscribe to his channel as well. Well, the power supply is already outside of the cube, so that's not it. But go watch the video, take a look, Claire, and everybody else in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe. Excellent little video there, and really just a nice little tip there for any of you who have a G4 Cube and you're trying to prolong the life out of its original power supply. You're very welcome, David. Okay, so we're just curing this long, silly-looking thing here. Ah, the Mac Cube chimney. No, it's not that, but that would be funny. I should make one of those out of cardboard. Put a bunch of pixelated icons along the chimney. That'd be hilarious. Basically, any of those compact Macs, Nick, they need to be recapped. Both the analog board and the logic board, with the exception for the Macs that don't really have capacitors on those boards. Well, the bad types of capacitors on them. Yes, exactly, Tom. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because that was an excellent little tip that I saw. Well, hello, Apple II Euro Plus. I believe you follow me on Twitter, if unless you're just using a very similar name. But good day. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well there in Sydney. So sue me. Eep. Quack. All right. So we should be just finishing this up here. It is you. There you go. Cool. Well, thank you. Small world, isn't it? I always see you liking and replying to things, so I greatly appreciate your participation. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're just going to do this area here. And those of you just joining, we are just curing the UV solder mask on this little board. And this little board goes into our Macintosh 2SI power supply. So that's what we're just trying to fix up today. Well, Nick, you could email me. I mean, I can't tell you it's going to be anything, you know, a quick turnaround, but I'll add you to the list, buddy. There's a lot of people who have reached out to me personally about doing analog board recapping. And I have the tools to do so. I just do not have the parts or the experience yet. So I will be doing a few of my machines. I'll be doing live streams of them when I get a chance. Just so I could have that under my belt. But yeah, that's something I have to get to. Okay, that should be good enough here. Well, that's assuming YouTube's notifications work. Sometimes they just don't. Okay, that is solid there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to check this little guide from this website. I don't know if you guys heard of this website. And we'll see if Bruce is paying attention. But Brancus Creations has an excellent website. That's Bruce in the chat here. Brancus Creations also in the chat and on the YouTube page. But recapamac.com. It's in my bookmarks. Should be in your bookmarks. If you're doing any of this type of repair, you want to go to this website. Tons of information here. So I'm going to resources. I'm clicking on the Macintosh 2SI power supply, and I'm checking to see the direction of where the positive pin is for this capacitor, because it is not shown on the little board I have here. So I would have been in a heap of trouble if I plugged into the wrong spot. Would have gotten a bit zappity zap zap. So that wouldn't have been good. Thank you very much, Jay, for putting the link in there. Do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's no skin off my back, Nick. I'll add you to the waiting list. So, well, I'm very glad that we could provide you with some entertainment there, Apple II Euro Plus. That's a very strange name. Is it a family name or? Oh, there go the dad jokes. Okay, yes, and Trina, you're already on my list for the analog boards. Don't you worry. You were one of the first ones, believe it or not. Because I actually had to turn you away, obviously, because I didn't do the job myself yet. And that's the thing. I don't take in repairs that I'm not confident I could do. I'd be up to my arms in more iMac G3s in my basement if that was the case. Yes, actually, so CS Waffle brings up a good point. So Bruce has a lot of excellent guides on his website, but a lot of them are for the international versions of those power supplies for the compact Macs, and some of the analog boards differ. So I need to do a guide for the Classic, the SE, the Classic 2, the SE30, all those compact ones, the Macintosh Plus, etc. So when I go and repair them, I'll make a guide for them. So I guarantee you on that. So when I get to do that, I'll let you know. Yeah, that happened to me, Brian. I don't know exactly what the cause of that other than just rebooting the thing. Sometimes that helped me, but it passed through generations. But yeah, if I do post any guides there, I will give you a link that you could find where those guides are, and that is essentially at mac84.net/guides. That's a shortcut. I'm going to put that link in the chat here. There we go. So there you could go and see all the repair guides and documents that I have on my website there. Whenever I add them, that's where they're going to go. So sometimes, I don't update that as frequently as I can, but usually when I create the guide, I post it directly to the site. So the new additions there are the Macintosh LC power supply recap for the Aztec model and the PowerBook 160 LCD recapping guide. I'm also doing a recapping guide for the 2SI power... No. Not the 2SI power supply. There's another LC power supply I'm doing a recap for. So, there you go. See, Nick, I have no space for that printer right now. So, I apologize, but I can't accept a big printer that I think I actually have that one somewhere. I don't even know where it is. It's probably stashed away under the shelf at the bottom somewhere. My goodness. WazFest sounds awesome. I wanna participate. Have butcher's modes. I have no idea what that means. Please explain. All right, so back to the fun here. So let me go back to the microscope view. Microscopy. I always steal Bruce's fun words here. He says microscopy, which I like. Any of the beep 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 machine, etc. Bunch of people chatting in the Macac chat and not watching the stream. How dare you, fellas? How dare you? Just kidding. Somebody go back and... Oh, I'm not going to spoil the movie for Jay, because Jay's watching a funny movie. Not gonna spoil a great line in that movie. Alright, anyway. Let's get some flux on this board, and we'll put that capacitor into place. And how many people we got here? We got 45 people. Hello, 45 people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am the exact opposite of unlimited space. Have you seen my live streams? Good lord. I'm very selective of what I take, believe it or not. I know, everyone's laughing. Ha ha ha, he made it funny. No, seriously. There's not enough space right now. I'm not going to be taking in printers and junk I don't have room for. Alright, so... let's get some solder on here. And try and put this little capacitor where it belongs. Let's put it in its home. Yeah, this is one of those that the pads are a little bit tight with the capacitor. So hopefully we can get this relatively easily here. Nope, that didn't take. I need a much smaller soldering iron tip for this. I'm just melting things, which ain't good. Sorry, little component. Didn't mean to melt you there. Nope, see, that's not connected there. Great. Alright, that should do it. Okay, that should be good there. Button has been smashed. Yay! Alright, so this looks otherwise to be in okay shape. This pin's a little bent, but that's okay. It's going to go in that board anyway. So that would be fine. Here's the board. So next step is going to be soldering that little board back into place. So let me just make sure I am putting it back in the right orientation. So again, going to Bruce's excellent website, recapamac.com.au. And I believe this little board goes into place just like that, maybe? Here. So let me get a photo for you here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this little board that I was working on here, it sort of sits right, well, that's sort of, but it sits right in here. The pins go through the bottom of the board, and I'm going to have to solder them in place because this is a bit of a wobbly one. But that's how it sits in the logic board there, with the capacitors facing this cable here. So you can see the orange, yellow tantalums, they're facing this way. So that's how that board is oriented. Okay, so let's flip this over. Gonna try and make that as flush as possible. Gonna put some flux down here. I'm just gonna solder the two pins just to give it some support right now. And we'll go back in and do some soldering for the rest of it. So. It's kind of staying. I'm gonna fix that. So I know this is not too exciting. You can't really see up close what I'm doing. I'm just gonna have to end up adding a lot more solder than I thought to this, just to make sure it's making a good connection there. So. Okay, so now I can put this upside down here. I knew you were going to mention that, Jay. That's next on the list. I have my little fan. I'm not breathing in all the stuff, just 90% of it. That's okay. Just blowing the smoke elsewhere, so I'll just breathe it in when I go upstairs. That's all. That's all. If Jay cared about my health, he'd send me a fume extractor. Alright, so there are some bridged connections there. So no, he does not. So let me just put some flux on here, just resolve some of those. We obviously don't want any pins touching. Okay, so I think that looks better. We're going to take a look under the microscope if we can, because it is a bit raised up. No worries, Trina. Yeah, we're not going to be able to focus on that. We're not going to be able to focus on that unless I lift up the entire... No, that's not going to help. Well, yeah, I'm not going to lift up the entire microscope because that'll screw things up. But I don't see any bridges there. So I think we're in good shape, and that board is as firm as it's going to get. So I think that'll be okay. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit with some alcohol and a little cotton bud swab type thing. Good night, Commodore. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. Also just gets any of the old flux or solder gunk or anything that was in that area. Just get some of that off the board because we don't want that there, do we? No, we do not. Okay. All right. So that looks a bit better. You know what? Let me move this wooden block out of the way. Or as much of it as I can, just to see if that will let us get a clear view on this. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Alright. Alright, so those are the connections there. That's the best you're going to be able to see because of the way this is. I can see it a little sharper. But we're just going to be on this view just for a few moments. So there we go. Now it doesn't look too bad, does it? So this is where we soldered on that connector here. This is just all flux. Well, there's some gunk in there, but making sure there's no connections between these little thingies. Hello, Christopher. Why, thank you very much, Kate. I have to get a new one. This one, well, I have a new one. I have the exact one. So it's based on the Apple, oh, what is it? What do they call them? The Apple Pride ones from, what is it, 2018? 2019? Whatever it was. But somebody on eBay was selling knockoffs because I bought the $50 one and it got dirty and it sort of fell apart. So I wasn't going to make that mistake again. And they're online for like $10. So I figured, you know what? I'll just get the cheapo one. And it works fine. It got dirty, obviously, but I clean it every once in a while. Every year. The Mac guys are always yelling at me, your watch band's dirty. You gotta clean it. But yeah, it's very reminiscent of the Apple logo colors, so that's why I got it, and it's very pretty. Okay. Alright, so that should be all good. So let's move this back onto here. I think we're done. So let's switch over the cameras here. Sorry for the squeak. And we're going to reassemble this power supply, which is going to be fun because I don't remember where all the screws are. They're in a little Ziploc bag. We'll find those in a moment. I put this over here so I don't lose any of my tool bits. Here they are. Here are those screws. We found them. Yay! All right, 2019. Okay, thank you, Brian, for the correction. Yeah, I knew it wasn't last year. It was a little older than that. Yeah, some of this. Yeah, this power supply case is not in the best condition, but I'm not going to be cleaning that up today. Sorry. Oh yeah. So there's still a bit of a problem here. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh, okay. Well. My memory's crap, so I don't rely on it. Just looking at some gunk I have to clean off the bottom of this. There is a bit of weird residue inside of this connector. I don't necessarily know what it is. It's like these little blue dots. I don't know if it's just like dye from these blue capacitors and junk. Or reefer caps or whatever those are. I really don't know. I don't think it's hurting anything. But it definitely... Let me see if I get a good picture here. Let me grab you off the tripod here. And let's go to our settings here. And actually it's focusing pretty decently, but let's just manually focus here. You can see though, see that? The little blue... Like, what the heck? What the heck is that? So, I don't know what the heck that's all about. But, yeah, no way I think I'm getting in there to clean that. But, yeah. I serviced a smoky PC, and I had to go to the doctor for like 3 weeks and get steroids because I had the worst sore throat I've ever had in my life. Fun times. Gosh, that was like 2009. Alright, so yeah, I don't know if there's really anything I could do about this connector. I don't think that's corrosive. I don't think that's corrosion. I think it's just like... Because it was coming off as blue and green gunk. I mean, look, it could be. It very well could be. I just don't know. Exactly. Warranty void. No, thank you. So yeah, I have no idea if that's anything bad or not, but oh, that's nasty. Yeah, so I mean, if this thing starts sparking when I plug it in, that'll explain why. But I don't know if I could easily take these little wires out of that connector And the key word there is easily, because I know it can be done, but do I want to? I mean, I guess I could try. I guess I could try it with my tweezers. That's a tongue twister. I guess I could try with my tweezers. I guess I could try my tweezers. And if I take it out with the tweezers here, will I be able to get it back to the way it was before? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that before the ultrasonic clean, which leads me to believe maybe it was just... I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see if we could get some of that off of it. Now, see, I can't... It's too small to even fit my tweezer between the pin and the plastic. Let's see if it's wedged in there, or if it's on the metal itself. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. It looks like it's on the plastic. Yeah, it is definitely on the plastic. It's not on the metal itself. So I do just think it's a cosmetic thing. So yeah, because if I bend the plastic, I could just see that it's on the plastic. It is not on the metal. Just hang the PSU off the side of the ultrasonic cleaner, dip the cable. Well, it was in there for like a half hour. Which leads me to believe some of this coloring of these components came off on there. I really don't want to have to put this through the ultrasonic cleaner again. Yeah, I wish I could just take this little connector off, but I have no idea how that would snap back in. Let me try and take one of these out. It's a bad idea. Don't you know it? Nope. No. Do a multimeter test. Fantastic idea. Fantastical. Where's my multimeter? Yep. Yep. Everything seems okay. Craig, we need positive thoughts here. Positive. Why is the 5 volt going to the green? That can't be good, can it? Oh, it's just the multimeter making a noise. It's not necessarily that there's continuity. It always tricks me sometimes like that. I'm like, wait, what? How? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's probably fine, kablamo. Alright, so let's put this back in its case here. Now this is going to be tricky because I don't necessarily remember exactly how the screws were in this, etc. So this is going to be fun. So let me bring the camera a bit closer so you can see how I mess up here. We'll figure it out together. How about that? So, get the multimeter out of the way. So, we have a bunch of screws and stuff. I don't think all of these are for this power supply. Well, we'll see. How about that? I believe it goes in. Well, we have these two things over here. I should have taken pictures. I probably do have pictures, but I don't know where they are right now. Alright, so it sits above there. Yeah, and then this connector. This connector is the interesting part of it. It goes in here. Now let me make sure I put this connector in the right way. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble here. So let me grab my 2SI and take a look at it. Okay, so I have another 2SI here, and I have another power supply. So we're going to be taking it apart and finding out exactly where those screws go. How about that? Turn the soldering iron off for now. We won't need that, hopefully. Let me put this power supply over here. And we'll only need the power supply for this. This is a Macintosh 2SI. And this could use ultrasonic cleaning. I did the recapping of this before I cleaned it, and I could see some yucky areas on here. So we definitely could use an ultrasonic cleaning on this. This power supply right here, this power supply is from a prototype Macintosh TV set-top box type dealie. But it uses a 2SI power supply. And so when this original power supply died, this is the original one for this computer, I used this just to temporarily, and then this power supply died also. So I did buy double the caps. I will have to recap this one, assuming I'm successful with that. And this has these little metal clips here, which is a little bit annoying when you have to take this fan out, because you have to remove this fan, or at least press these clips here on this power supply to lift it off the board. It looks like it's going to come quietly this time. Please. You have to like hold all these little clips and everything, and there we go. Okay. That was a bit scary, but we got it. Alright, so let's put this case aside. Okay, so I'm going to open this, and I'm going to put the camera very close to it, so future Steve and other individuals will know exactly how the heck this thing is put together. Because I sure don't remember. Alright, so there's a screw here. And we should draw a little diagram, shouldn't we? Why the heck not? Where's some paper? Where's some paper? He says with the image writer paper all over the frickin' house. Yeah, this is a checklist for another video I did. We could just use this real quick. Alright, so this is the side with the power sockets, and there's one screw over here. Okay, and let's see, where do we have? We on one on the bottom and two on the side. Okay. And so these are little screws with a ring. That's the top, and then on the bottom, there's a screw there. Okay. I should be using a pen and not a marker, but that's what I got right now. Okay, so we have one gold colored screw on the bottom, which is not budging. We'll try the top one. Okay. Then I believe this top just comes, well, yeah, this top should just come off. Maybe. There we go. So you can take a look inside the power supply. Looks to be identical to the one that I've been using. Oh yeah, I can see some good stuff in here. There's some dust bunnies. And this is all leakage. All over here. You can't really see it. But if you look down there, it is all leaked. I'm surprised this thing worked already. So, oof. All right, so we're gonna just focus on where the screws are. So we have one screw here for the grounding there, so that's important. And then there's another 2 screws holding that in. There's some screws holding these devices in right here. There's this little black thingy, and then, well, let me get some focus on here. Sorry, because if I'm gonna be looking at this in the future, I'm gonna wish I focused. So there we go, and let's focus this a little bit. So we have a screw over here on this side that is for the ground, I believe, and then we have these 2 little things on the side here that are screwed in. So those are both of those gold screws with the ring around it, and they are attached to these little thingies there. I'm not going to pretend to know what those are. On the bottom we have that screw there, right there, and the top that was over here, that's where this little screw came from, which has a very small ring around it, but not as big as the other ones. So, all right, so that is that. So let's see, if I have this open, I might be able to guess the rest here. And I think some of these screws are actually in this bag are actually from the 2GS power supply. So that might be the case. But let's try this out here. So interesting. This has a. Or did that one have it too? Let me see. Yeah, these have a. It looks like what is a reefer cap. Well, a plastic reefer cap. So this is on the part where the power sockets are. And look over here. There's like a reefer cap just soldered on there, just hanging out, just having fun. That's funny. I can't read the value on that because it's so jammed in there. It's wait. It's 250 volts X2.1 UF microfarad. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, here's a pen. That does not work. Wait, that kind of does. So that's period 1 UF 250 volts X2. I actually might have accidentally ordered one of those. So that's a filter cap. So very good to use. That's a good idea, Trina. Pill bottles with a whiteboard marker for your screws. I put the screws in and then I worked on it. Very, very good to know. Yeah, I mean, that's a few months ago, probably, actually, at this point, Wells. But, yeah, I ended up settling with a Panasonic GH5S, and I have to say, I am super happy with it. Yes, it was much more expensive than I was originally willing to pay. And I did actually enjoy the Sony for what it was worth, but there were just too many drawbacks with it. I wanted more out of the camera than I think I was going to be able to get out of it. So I ended up, just returning that, which I never do. I never return electronics. I usually do so much research that by the time I buy it, I'm like, you know what, that was exactly the one I wanted. But in this case, it just did not work out. But that's okay. I learned from it. It's a perfectly fine camera. I was impressed with the autofocus. But that is just, it did a lot of things that, it didn't do a lot of things that I wanted. So. But I'm so far very happy with this camera. Probably not the best for everybody, but I was satisfied with it, and I guess that meets my criteria. But all right, so we also want to make sure which direction this connector on the bottom is going, and this is going to be fun. Okay, so in my case, the orange wire here. So this is actually oriented correctly. This cable will just go like this. So the orange cable faces this way, the black cable on the edge, and the yellow cable face this way, but the black and the orange face this way. That should be the correct orientation here. So I'm going to put this connector back in here. It's going to be a little bit tricky to show, but essentially you just feed this through, and these little plastic things will sort of secure that cable into place there. Let me see if we could just push that through. Yep, there we go. There. So now that's in place. Very good. This is a Macintosh 2SI power supply, so we have recapped it. We are just putting everything back into the box here, making sure that everything is screwed in correctly, so we are taking our time. But just want to make sure that we are doing this correctly. But so far, we are on our way here, and I'm using a reference of a 2SI power supply because I don't remember exactly where all the screws went and everything, so I want to make sure we're doing that correctly. Want to make sure things are grounded properly, because that's important. Okay. That seems to be a bit better there. Now, there is a screw that goes here, that goes right here, and that goes to the bottom. Well, it doesn't go through to the bottom, but it attaches to the case. And that looks to be, I'm just going to try and find it here. Yeah, that looks to be this larger screw here. So we're gonna try that. I really should get oh, I have a magnetic tip. Hold on. I was about to say I need a magnetic tip for my screwdriver. I have one here. If I could find it. That's the real trick here, isn't it? Usually it's so bulky I can actually see it, but I'm not, which... Is it in my toolbox, maybe? As he almost drags his soldering iron off the table. Got another pair of tweezers. We're going to put those over there so I don't lose them. No, and I don't think I have a powerful enough magnet down here to magnetize that. That would have been helpful, wouldn't it? I'm very surprised because I had a magnet literally designed to make screwdrivers magnetic, and it was sitting in that drawer and I have no idea where it is. And you've been looking at my pants for a while. Sorry. Oopsie doodle. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. This particular power supply is a Sony. So this is the camera wants to decide to focus there. Sony APS-0609-057 rather. That's the power supply there. Yeah, I know. What the heck? All right, so we're gonna finish this up here. The time for rambling is over. The time for fixing has come. All right, so this is gonna be fun because this big power supply thing of wires. So that's a word, right? This nest of wires, rather. Thank you. Is gonna prevent me from getting these screws in there, I think. But we're gonna try. And I just dropped the screw. This is when an overhead shot might be good, but then you just see the top of my head. Let's see if I could just try this way. Very exciting, I know. I know. Oh, come on. Oh, don't what are you... Get out of there. I can see you. Nothing is holding you in. Come on. What are you waiting for? An engraved invitation? There we go. Let's try this again. Let's follow Steve's iFixit guide. Yeah, I think it should work if you do this. Are you sure about that? Maybe. Alright, Steve, you're fired. Nobody can make sense out of your nonsensical guides here. Okay, the screw is in. kind of. But I need to lift this board up and move it without it falling out. So let's try that. Board is pointy. Ow. This is a bunch of fun. I can tell you. Oh, almost. Almost. This is where having an extra hand would be very handy, but there we go. See, I had to like lift the screw up through this peg while it was a pain in the butt. All right, anyway, that's done. So let's get this little metal thingy, whatever this thing is called. It looks important, so let's make sure that is securely attached to the side of this power supply, along with what is that? I guess it's like a metal heat thingy? Sure, that's what we're going to call it. So that's what this is. This little thing. So let's put this in. And I'll get a better close-up of this once it is screwed in here. So this sort of has a little metal peg, and I think this just sits along this. There's a word for this little device. It gets hot though, and so this just basically puts pressure on it and transfers some of that heat, I believe. I know I'm very specific, but I don't know what it's called. The Atari had one of these. The Atari 800 had one of these. Had two of these actually. Yeah, so what this basically does is this little metal piece here that I just screwed in right here with this screw. This just holds in this black component there, which you actually, let me use the light so you can actually see. Hey, Mike. No worries, Mike. No worries. So yeah, let me get. Yeah, if we're gonna do this right, we're gonna do this right. So let me get the focus better here. Okay, and yeah, you can see that little metal thing right here. That's what I'm talking about. There's this little black component that it's putting pressure on. So that's what that screw there is for. Voltage regulator. That's the word. Thank you, Mike. Mike comes and saves the day again. Thank you very, very much, because that's exactly what the word I was looking for, and I couldn't remember the darn thing. How about that? Okay, so we're going to continue slowly putting this back together. I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. That's why I'm taking my time, folks. Alright, so this next one here is this screw with the little bolt at the end. So it has a ring and a little bolt. Oh, this camera is going to be the death of me. And so the washer goes on this side of the case, but the bolt goes on this side. So the washer is outside of the case, the bolt is inside of the case. And I will show you how that is. I'm very glad I kept the other power supply intact, because I would have never guessed exactly how all this stuff would have went back together. I really would not have been able to do that. So I'm just holding the washer a little bit. As I screw this in, I'm going to use my tweezers. I thought I saw something run across the floor there and I got scared, but it's just my imagination, I think. Which is good, because that meant either the bunnies were out of their pens, or they have a very large problem. Alright, so let's screw this in correctly. Alright, and so that's what this was here. This was that little, this screw here. And let's see if we get a better focus on that. Yeah, so there's this black component here. So as I was saying, the washer is on the outside and the nut is on the inside, and it just holds this piece in there. So there you go. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Yes, there's a lot of words for these things that I'm just clearly oblivious to, but that's okay. That's okay. It just proves that you don't have to know what you're doing, because I don't. Alright, so we have 2 screws that go in the bottom here. Those look identical. One is pretty... Ooh, this one's pretty yucky. I'm going to show you this. This is what happens when you leave your screws in a power supply to corrode. Let's see if you can see the difference between them. Ew. Yeah, so one of those is definitely a little corroded. Thank you very much, Greg. Well, you know what, Chris? That is actually like what I'm trying to do. I used to love watching tech TV. I was enthralled by that stuff. Of course, we didn't get the channel, so it was only like when I was at a friend's place or whatever. So I like to make that content too. No, this screw did not ride with the ultrasonic cleaner, unfortunately. I'm going to just clean that up a little bit with some alcohol. But, yeah. I'm going to put it in the... It's not going to go in the one that has to make metal contact with something. So it's just a screw to secure something in. So it's not going to hurt anything. But there are 2 screws here. One has a metal contact here. One does not. This is just for symmetry holding that in. So I put the shiny screw there, which will be fine. That one I'll clean up in a second. So these 2 screws here, where do these go? So one goes to the bottom. I know that. One goes to the top. Okay. And then this is for the ground. Okay, so all those screws in that bag were for this. Okay. All right, so let's get our little... I had a little plastic thingy here that I put components in and then wash them. This has dust in it, but who cares? It's probably not going to get all the gunk out, I know, but it'll look better than it did before. How about that? Well, see, these screws are a very specific thread and everything, GT. I would love to just put any old screws in here, but I'm putting back the exact ones that are in there because I don't want to make I don't want anything not to grip as it should. I mean, like I said, this one doesn't touch any metal or anything, but I do need to just order like a bin of PC screws because the last time I got any spare screws with the PC, I think is when I put my tower together back in like 2013 or so. So that is definitely something I need to do because in my toolbox, my electronics toolbox, there's a bunch of random screws, but that's about it. I don't have like standoffs and regular type things. I should do that. Oh yeah, Computer Chronicles. I only discovered the Computer Chronicles like a few years ago, but I grew up with Tech TV, so yeah. Look at that. Look at that come off of that screw. Lovely, lovely. I know it's not anything special. I'm just saying the threading and the size of it, Greg. I just don't happen to have any. So, if I order just like a bundle of random screws, that'll probably be fine. But I just have not made an order yet. So that is another thing on my to buy list, I'm sure. So I'm just getting some of the obvious gunk off of this. Not going too crazy here because most of it's actually coming off, so that's good. Yeah, it's just like gunk, corrosion, fun stuff, rust. Exactly, Greg. Exactly. I just need to buy more parts. Everyone has to buy more parts. You run out of parts. All right. It looks a little dull, but that is much cleaner than it was before. This camera. All right. So, which Mac Pro do you have? I have a 2012 Mac Pro. It is a pretty nice machine. I am running into some issues right now, but that's related to some other funny crap I'm running on that system. But I'm very, very happy overall with that machine. Okay, so it looks like I actually may have a leftover screw here. Let me double check here because there's one at the bottom, which I think was this one. Oh no, I took this. Never mind. I'm confusing myself. with the multiples here. Okay. I don't care about Big Sur. I'm still on Mojave. Screw Catalina. I want my 32-bit apps. Thank you very much. All right, so this piece goes... Okay, so I see how this is. So here's the power socket. So this goes here. Okay. So this piece goes here. Now there's a screw hole at the bottom here. That little screw connects to here to secure this to the metal plate. And this screw at the top is for the lid. So, all right, so let's do this. Well, yeah, I mean, if you use OpenCore, you actually can install Big Sur and all that stuff. I'm just saying, personally, I don't bother with it because I'm still running Mojave and I'm perfectly happy with it. So, I have not had any issues. And I like my 32-bit apps. All right, so, where's... Yeah, okay, wait. Crap, there's another piece of metal I'm missing here. No! How am I missing? Oh, no, I'm not missing it here. I'm just a freaking idiot. All right, so here's the grounding screw here. I didn't get much sleep if you guys aren't noticing. If you guys are paying attention. This grounding screw here goes on this green little cable. And what this does is it just secures right in here. This is the big screw with the ring around it. And there. That's exactly how it goes in. There you go. Alright, so this should just slide in here like that. It does. And I should have one more screw. Yep, so 2 more screws rather. So one of these small little gold ones goes in the bottom here. Okay, there we go. And this is the longest reveal of this thing working ever, I know. I know, oh my god. Oh, that's wobbly now. That's okay. It's still connected, I think. That little board that I put in there. The little board with the little capacitors on it. It's a bit wobbly, but so is this. Well, that one's not as wobbly. I'm sure it's making a connection. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's put the case back on here. So the way this works is, it's actually like a little hinge. Oops. So you have these little feet there that go into the side like this. See how it's just freestanding? And that just goes down there. And then you have the final screw that keeps that case on. If that screw wants to go in, maybe. There we go. How about that? So, we are all settled there. Let me put the case back on the other power supply so I don't lose that screw there. We are ready to test. We are ready to test. Oh, sorry, Justin. What issues are you having? Mine, I get pixelization in Final Cut Pro and weird rendering things. If that's what you're experiencing, I'm having the same weird things, but I think it's just maybe the version of OpenCore that I have, or I don't know. LCAP is a fantastic operating system. I'm running that upstairs on a Mac Mini that I use with my scanner for digital digitization of film elements and stuff like that. But yeah. All right, so the moment of truth, I suppose. We're going to plug this in and see if it works. Hopefully it does. I want my Macintosh 2SI to work again. It's the only... why can't I see power cord pins in the PSU? This thing? Here? Huh? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm sorry. Alright. Let's hope this works. This is my only Macintosh 2SI and I don't want to break it. Well, if this works, I'll plug in the VGA adapter and such. But we'll be able to hear it with the bong if it works, because it wasn't powering on at all before. So, place your bets, folks. Will this work? I sure hope so. So we're putting the original power supply back into the Macintosh 2SI here. And nothing else is plugged in at the moment. We just have some memory on the board and the speaker. And let's find that power cable. as he drops his speakers on the ground. All right, my toe is on the off switch just in case we blow anything up. All right, here we go, folks. Where's the power button on this thing? Oh. Hey, it works! Yay! I'm cautiously optimistic that this isn't going to, like, spark and start smoking. Cautiously optimistic. It seems to be working. No problem. I'm going to turn it off again. Turn it back on. That is awesome. Fantastic. Let's unplug that. Woohoo! Well, that's a win. That's fantastic. So I have another one to recap. I'm not going to do it now, but let's see if we. Oh wait, no. This is the problem with this machine. It's a sync on green video out. It does not work well with my capture device, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a pain. But it does work. You heard the nice healthy bong, the nice little chime there. This machine will be getting its own little SCSI device at one point. So I'll be putting that in. I have to put the floppy drive back in and everything. But, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. I'm glad my IIsi works again. Because I really like the form factor of this machine. When the case is on it, it looks really nice. But you have the one PDS slot here, which I do have a Ethernet adapter for, so we could use that. Oh, thank you very much, Wells. Greatly appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Eep! And then, yeah, I actually have this riser card that allows you to use a NuBus card. So with that riser card, it has a FPU on it, so the math coprocessor, and then I can plug in an Ethernet NuBus card there. So, oh, this is exciting. I'm glad to finally get this machine working again. Yay! Yay! All right, awesome. Check the voltage at Molex. Sure. I don't know the pinout for that, honestly. Because I don't have the little cable. Oh, here it is. Alright, so I assume with the multimeter, where's my multimeter? Where'd I put it? If I had the multimeter, I'd test it. Where'd it go? I just had the darn thing. Oh, boy. Well, if I can't find it, I'll do that another time, Thomas. That's a good idea. But, yeah, it is a very handsome little machine. And it can take the ROM sim from the Big Mess of Wire shop. So you can actually do some cool stuff with it. But, yeah, I don't know where the heck I put my multimeter. It's amazing how fast I lose things in this basement. Yeah. Yeah. But I am very satisfied that this turns on again. That is excellent. No Macs in your collection any longer. Well, do you have some Apple IIs, hopefully? But, yeah, this is excellent. I'm very happy to have this machine working because this is a bit of an odd form factor, but it's a little more beefier than, like, your LC because you have the expansion slot that can be adapted to a NuBus card. I think I have 12 megabytes in memory in here, or 13, or whatever. There's an odd amount, because there's like 1 megabyte on board. I think this is... Did I write them down? Yeah. So 4 and 4, 8, 8 and 8. Oh, there's 7... That's right, 17 megs of memory. So this thing, I believe, is maxed out at 17. Maybe it could take more. I'm just talking out of my butt here. But this, right now, has 17 megabytes of memory. Only 11 Euro Pluses and a 2E Platinum. No worries, Thomas. Thank you. Take care. Yeah, so there you go. This is very nice. Oh, your 2FX was next to a PS2. That's interesting combination. You can use a NuBus or PDS. Maxes out at 36 megabytes. Thank you very much, Mike. I think 17 megs will be pretty zippy with this though. Oh, this looks like it has. Yeah, this has the little same egret chip or whatever that the Macintosh 2 has right here. And of course, it's right next to a capacitor. Those chips can't catch a break, can they? Thankfully, I have no problems on here, but I'm assuming that's the same chip from a Classic 2 that helps it boot up and everything. Right there next to the memory slots. Mike likes that setup, yep. Oh, excellent, Morgan. Justin, Morgan. It's awesome to set those machines up. So good luck with that. Yeah, I gave my 2FX, or was it 2VI or 2VX or what? If Brian's still here, Brian's probably not still here. He probably went to sleep like a normal person. But I ended up buying one for Brian, and I passed it along to him because he gave me the cash for it, and I picked it up for him. But it basically looks like a Centris. No worries, Bruce. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yep, everything's working good. Our power supply turns on. We will plug it in and tempt fate here, just to let you hear the healthy chime that it's making now. See, look at that. It's very happy. And Brian is still here. Yeah, Brian, what was the machine I gave you? 2VX? Something like that. I always get those mixed up. And it turns off. And it turns on. And that was a problem I was having with this power supply. It was very intermittent. It didn't want to turn on all the time. It didn't want to turn off all the time. Now it's working beautifully. Beautifully. Yay. Very, very happy. I keep saying that, but I am. 2VX. That's what it was. 2VX. Yeah. So, I mean, there was no real point to me keeping that. I have a Centris and some other machines. Very glad that you were able to find it a good home. And I'm sure if I need to play around with one or have some photos of it, we could just hang out. That'd be fun. But, yeah. Okay, there is one thing I want to work on briefly, because it is getting pretty late. Let me put on the Be Right Back loading screen, and I will be right back. I want to bring something down here just to see if it works. And then we'll take a look at that. So I will be right back in a moment. Please groove to the whole music, and I'll be back in like a minute or so. Oh, Bruce, don't worry. It's nothing personal, my friend. And I'm back just for you. How about that, Bruce? We're going another 8 hours. Bruce is here. So this is a very cheapo AV capture device. And I got this for a friend of mine who likes to stream classic video games. And it's a very simple device. They're about $20 on Amazon or about $11 on AliExpress. So you could guess which cheap route I took, and I bought 2 of them. Mine works fine. Hers stopped working. So we're going to take a look under the microscope if there's just a bad solder joint or whatever. This side is interesting. It's soldered on. This is a socket connector. So we're going to take a brief look at it and see if there's anything that we could spot that is wrong with this, because I'm very curious. Are you selling Mac Plus battery to LR44 adapters? I don't even know what that... Hold on. LR44. I apparently am not, because I don't know what that is. Oh, the little button batteries. I think you could 3D print those. I don't have a 3D printer at this moment. But I'm sure Bruce or Jay might be able to accommodate that request. That sounds interesting. So a Macintosh Plus battery to LR44. I'll have to make a note of that. Screenshot. Okay, so let's take a look at this little device here. And so I'm going to look at the microscope here. I'm going to switch over to the camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at as well. And so here is where we just have some glue. We just have some glue holding in this USB connection here. And not entirely sure. Oh yeah, look at that. The wires are exposed in some areas. I mean, I'm not saying that is the problem, but I don't think it actually would touch anything. This one looks a little bit off. Well, all right, Greg can do it too. Let me rephrase that. Anybody with a 3D printer in time may be able to help you out. There, did that cover everybody? Goodness. All right, so yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing where these would maybe touch each other, and this is all glued down, so I don't know how. Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere unless one of them was just yanked too hard. Yeah, we have a power button here, which has some of that glue on it. Well, not power button. This is a little switch button. I'm just making sure that everything actually looks like it's soldered on pretty well. I opened this up with the assumption that things were just going to need a little touch up or something. I think that's a little LED there. Yeah, and then there's this little connector here. This goes to the AV points there. But I'm going to plug this in. We'll give it a little test. We'll see if it works for us, because I have not tested it since I got it, but I just ripped it open immediately, because I'm like, let me just take a look. A fairly simple layout here. I don't see anything that would be problematic necessarily. I don't see anything burnt or anything like that. I don't see anything that's jumping out to me. It could be a crimped wire, it could be a busted connection or something like that. Especially this area I would be suspect on, just the way it's been sort of glued there. But we will test it out with where the heck is that multimeter? We really need to find that now. Gosh, wait, I think that's where it is. Hold on. There it is. I put a logic board on top of it. That's why I couldn't find the darn thing before. Yeah, I mean, eventually I think I'll get a small 3D printer. I don't know if I need one of the big ones like the other guys have, but... Alright, so let's do some testing here. So let me adjust the focus here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're just going to tap into the red line there. And I forget my USB pinouts, but we're just going to jab at it. We're just going to jab at it. Let me put this under the wooden block so I have a better holder for this cable there. There we go. Very fancy way of doing things. I know. Alright, so just seeing if I could find that line there. I need one of those helping hand things. I have one, I just don't know where it is at the moment. Is the probe long enough to fit in the USB cable? Let me try doing that first. That's going to be the more problematic part to do with one hand. Okay. Okay, so that works. That was the red one. Let's try the white cable here. And that one works. Let's try the green. Alright, let's try the ground. That should just be... Oh, it should be this pad, I guess. Yeah, so the pinout to the USB looks okay. So that seems to be okay. Well, that's just fighting words, GT. I mean, come on. My 2D printer is better. I like it. So yeah, I don't think this is the problem here. Maybe this connector was loose or something? I mean... I'm going to try reseating it. Or maybe it was just like a driver issue. I have no idea what could have been occurring to make this not work correctly, but I'm going to tempt fate by plugging this into OBS and everything while the computer's on, because OBS doesn't really like when you just fiddle around with this stuff. It might want me to restart and all this. So let me just put this plastic case on so I don't break this thing. Alright, so that's back together now. Okay, yeah, so let's do a transition here and get over to here so you can see what's going on. So this is a video input device, so let me plug this into the USB hub I have here. Oh, come on. Okay. Alright, that is in there. It's funny, I think there's an LED light, but it's blocked by the plastic, so we can't see that. I'm just going to see if it's recognized. I have the driver installed in this machine, I believe. Let's see, if I go here. Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. No, don't save. Alright, so let me go new movie recording. Let me use the little drop down here. Yeah, I see it's recognized. Okay. So this may work. Maybe it was just the type of video that was plugged into this. Now I have to be very careful of what I plug into this because copyright, etc. What do I have with composite video out that I could easily plug into this? That's a good question. I have a Sega Genesis upstairs, but I don't want to go all the way upstairs. Oh, I have my my Apple IIGS that I just fixed up. How about that? There we go. So here's our Apple IIGS. And we did fix up our power supply for it. Where did that go? Boy. Where did it go? There's a bit of an organization problem, as you might imagine, in this general area. One power supply, two power supply. I think this is it. No, that's not it. What the heck? Where did I put it? I just repaired the darn thing. I'll find it. I'll find it. Yeah, I have one of those plug and play things, and I think the batteries are dead on it. Well, let me try it. Let me go grab one of those. It's right over here. Let me see if the batteries are still alive on it. I forgot I have a VCR just sitting off camera. Hey, Dana. So we're just going to use the VCR. That'll be a bit of an easier test. So let me bring up a, I guess we could just do, let's make a new capture box thingy. Let me put this down. So let me just do some OBS magic here. Sorry, guys. Just take a second here. So let me just add a new scene here. We'll name this TV AV capture because, hey, we might as well use this in the future. Let me add my microphone so you could be you'll be able to hear me. And we'll select the right microphone because that's always helpful. And it, of course, loves to select the wrong thing when you unclick the mouse there. All right, let me add a video capture. And this will be the webcam so you could see me, because I guess that's why you're here. Maybe, partially. Okay. So, and then I'll add the AV capture device. And we're going to select that. And it's going to be set to auto select, and that's fine. Okay, and so okay, excellent. So we should be set up here. Okay, so you should be able to still hear me. Hey, David hit 500 subs. Congrats, man. When did that happen? I will take full credit for that because I was promoting you earlier in this stream. Congratulations. Well deserved. All right, so we're going to plug in a... good night, Trina. We're going to plug in our video input here. And we're going to see if anything happens. I don't know if anything will happen. Oh, the VCR is not on. So let me push the power button on the VCR. There it is. VCR is turning on. We should get some sort of picture. Hey, there we go. Please set the clock. Okay. Well, that works. Kind of. Let me just set my layers here for this. Hold on, please. This is a very impromptu setup. There we go. Cool. All right, and all right, so that's with composite video, and that works fine. So yeah, I don't really have a tape to put in there. That's not going to give us a copyright strike. Giveaway this Sunday. All right, so everybody tune into David's channel on Sunday. And let's see, we'll just go to the menu maybe. I have to get up because I don't know where I put the remote. Where's the menu button on this thing? Hold, please. Let's put in a tape. Why the heck not? I just had to move stuff because there's a Macintosh 2 sitting on top of the VCR. So please hold. Please hold. You here, you can look at the pretty eyes of the microscope. Looks like a robot. Alright, so I have a tape here we could try. Let's set that up. So this is well, it's a Disney tape. That's not going to be good. We'll get striked immediately. Let's try another tape. Here we go. We have a travelogue of wonderful Iceland. So let's try this out. You can probably hear the noises the VCR is making. I really need to find the remote because I'm just going to have to stand up and press play. Yeah, I mean... seems to work okay. So I don't know if it was probably maybe it was the input signal of the video game because she said the input was dropping in and out. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just seeing if this works. That's all. So it actually does stop in certain instances, and I think that's just the frequency of the video. So it actually does stop when I'm rewinding like this. Or actually, let me try that again. That's rewinding works. Let's try fast forward. Yeah, fast forward doesn't work, so that's weird. Yeah, so there might be something a little just cheap about how this adapter works, but yes, and some video games do have odd NTSC signals, so that definitely could just be the problem with this. So it just could be the console or the system that is being used. It does have that look to it, doesn't it, Dana? Yeah, but this looks fine. So beautiful Iceland here. So yeah, that's good to know. I mean, I didn't have to fix anything, but Tara, if you're watching, your device seems to work. So. Stereo. Okay, well, we've had enough of that. We don't have to watch old tapes. We'd be here for a long time if that was it, because I have a wall of old tapes. So let me turn the VCR in stop mode here and turn that off, because that's not what you're here to watch. All right, so okay. All right, so yes, Jay is still very sore that I won the last one. I'm using the microphone right now, David. It is fantastic, so thank you very, very much. Where's the sound? I'm not putting the sound in. You don't need to hear it, because I'm going to get a copyright strike. There's probably music playing, so can't do that thanks to YouTube, so that's a big no. But yeah, I mean, we've been going for over 2 hours here. We were successful in our power supply recapping. So the next stream that I want to try is I want to fix up the other two SI power supply. So we're gonna maybe I won't do a stream of that. I think I'll do a scripted video of that. Not there's no real script needed, but just a cut together video of that. So maybe that's another thing for Macintosh I could do. Yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. It's getting pretty late here, so I'm not going to start another project. But I'm very satisfied we got our Macintosh 2SI power supply to work. That was very good. I'll be recapping the other one, like I just said. There is a project that's coming up for Macintosh that I'm not going to say yet. All I'm saying is I'm collaborating with somebody. It's going to be a bit of a one-sided effort type thing, but you'll see when that happens. It'll be fun. Well, the Rascuzzy I got to put together, Bruce. I don't think I have the time at 11:30 p.m. at night to start that, but I want to do the Rascuzzy probably for Macintosh. So I'm very curious to how that'll work. But maybe what I'll do with that is I'll do a live stream of me putting it together, and then I'll cut up those clips and put that into a video of that, because I want to do testing of like benchmarks and like how that compares to the SCSI 2SD and all that fun stuff, and that, you know, if I do a live stream of that, it'll be like 27 hours. So but that's the plan. I'm very open with my plans there, and yeah. So why are you talking? Because I am, Jay. It's 11:30 at night, and I didn't sleep well last night, so I have to get a good sleep for now. See, I can't even talk. See, that's a problem, Jay. Now I'm just talking to one person on the internet. This is very strange. But yeah, I've had success with the 2SI power supply today. That video adapter seems to work, so I'm gonna cut my losses here, and gonna wrap it up for today. I will likely be streaming another time during this week, so keep an eye on my Twitter and Instagram. I'll let you guys know when I do a stream. Make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. That is Mac84 on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching this now, so hopefully you are subscribed. Be sure to like the video as well. Thank you to everybody who gave me a super chat today. That was very, very much appreciated. So I believe that was Justin and Will, so thank you very much. And yeah, that's about it. A lot of cool stuff coming up from Macintosh. Again, go to macintosh.com. I have to make a banner somewhere, and we'll put that up. But yeah, Bruce, it's all yours. You go stream now, and yeah, let's go to sleep. That's for Dana there. Horrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonations is what he loves. So have a good night. Hopefully I didn't destroy your ears. Stay safe. Stay warm. Enjoy your Macintosh. See you later.